Naming Joey Aguilar the starting quarterback might end up being one of the best decisions Josh Heupel has made while at Tennessee. And for Joey Aguilar to be the starting quarterback for the Volunteers is nothing short of a crazy journey. I'm Paige Dauer, this is the Sports Page on Full Disclosure. Following Tennessee's second scrimmage of fall camp, I asked a very intentional question to Josh Heupel, one that I hope would result in a yes or no. And when you're in journalism school, you're not even supposed to be asking those types of questions, but because Heupel has such a way with words, I thought it'd be a prime opportunity to do so. But he really didn't even fall for it then. But maybe his silence before he answered my question was his answer, because 2 days later, they named Joey Aguilar the starting quarterback over social media. So when you go to have you seen separation, the answer was yes, as the decision was made 2 days later. And that decision, it's just getting better and better every day.
It's crazy.
This entire situation has put Tennessee in a category all on its own. Josh Heupel was in a place where the incumbent quarterback underachieved in his first year as a starter. And regardless of what the true cause and effect was, there was a mass exodus of players, especially on offense. And whether it's because, they saw the writing on the wall, they realized, they weren't a good fit for the system, or they weren't going to get that same playing time next year because freshmen were going to come take their spots, Tennessee was in a vulnerable spot. We're not even considering what they had to replace within the draft. Then it's rumored Nico's dad, wanted more money for Nico because Nico didn't have help. But those same players who had success with Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton, they didn't have that with Nico. Now, in this era of the transfer portal, the NIL, this whole ordeal has changed a lot. The players are, for the most part, still the sellers. But Tennessee decided that enough was enough. They made their first move when they allowed Nico to walk. Their second move is where it puts them in a completely different category. What they could have done late in the spring portal window was look for a Gaston Moore, stay loyal to the players that are on payroll, don't ruffle too many feathers. But Tennessee decided to put Tennessee first. They stopped taking maybe unfavorable deals. So they go out in the transfer portal, they find somebody like Joey Aguilar, and the returns on that are incredible right now. But they go out there and they look for somebody with upside. They put Tennessee first while also being transparent to its players. And it has Tennessee in this incredibly unique situation that might continue to change the college landscape as a result. Now, Nate Met, the Tennessee star freshman, is hosting a meet and greet at Harper Volkswagen on August 28th. I'll also be there to capture some exclusive content, so make sure you miss us. Nate Met, the Tennessee star freshman basketball player, is hosting a meet and greet at Harper Volkswagen on August 28th. I'll also be there to capture exclusive content, so make sure you meet us at Harper and subscribe so you don't miss out on the content that's coming from that event. Now, here's where Tennessee already won.
I grew up working for everything that I got. My dad always told me to be grateful and to be humble, so mom as well. So
when Tennessee was out, in the transfer portal, what they were, immediately looking for was somebody who was a leader, was a competitor, was a culture builder, and had veteran experience. Because I don't doubt in my mind that George McIntyre or Jake Merklinger could have helped lead the Tennessee squad to a 7-8 win season, or that one of them isn't the face of the program in years to come. But Heupel told me he wanted upside. They found that in Joey. But how much upside could there be from a guy who comes from JUCO, then App State, then departs from UCLA before the quarterback battle even begins? And I'd say, well, plenty. That's where teams like Alabama and Georgia have been able to run the college game for so long, because they have the infrastructure. They have the best coaches, the best facilities, the best weight rooms, the best stadiums, the best nutrition plan. You name it, they have it. That's when you're able to tap in. When you have that infrastructure, you are then able to tap into the upside of a player. Tennessee is turning into that, because by the sounds of it, Joey Aguilar has had such immense development and growth that just in under 4 months on Rocky Top, he's been able to be named the starter. And maybe in these moments where he's getting instant feedback from Joey Halzle, it allowed him to progress in a way that he hadn't in the past. Then you remember the 10 plus hours he spent in the building every day over the summer. And then when he first arrived, how much time he spent, at Josh Heupel's house going over film together. There's no question that learning from a coach who quarterbacked a national championship team and was a Heisman runner-up doesn't expedite your growth.
It's awesome. That whole quarterback room is great. They kind of get a different perspective through everybody.
Before he was even competing for a starting job at the JUCO level, he took time away from football. And if it weren't for his faith in Jesus and the support from his family and friends, he would not have given football one more chance.
Before I went JUCO, I wanted to be a fireman, so I was like, I might as well start COVID happened and football was kind of done in the JUCO level. So
Okay, all of that to say, I'm not putting a ceiling on Joey. I'm not putting a ceiling on Tennessee football. At this point, Joey pretty much is still an unknown quantity. And as I say that, yes, I realize what we do know is film from App State in 2024 when he threw like 14 interceptions. But also consider he didn't have like 5 of the skill players or offensive players from that 2023 season, 2 of which were the Mountaineers' like best wide receivers. And yes, I know still looking at film, there were times where he did force the ball and he absolutely shouldn't have. How much will that translate in 2025 when they have a wider selection of skill players at Tennessee? If you remember this episode, fantastic. If not, make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss out. Tennessee relies on its other skill players like the running back room and the tight end room to help provide, 18% of its total receiving yards. The rest obviously go to the wide receivers, but 18% go to other skill positions. Maybe something in an option he didn't have at App State, but he now has here. And for him, as he has relied on his maturity and veteran experience, it's all about not making that same mistake twice, kicking old habits. It kind of snuck up on him in that first scrimmage where he had that infamous pick 6 that everybody was talking about. And it is because he forces it. And he does need to realize that the check down is available. There's probably somebody out in the flat for you, or use your legs. So for him to be able to grow from that and not create that same mistake twice clearly shows that there is additional growth that he's had. I think understanding all of that, I'm still firm on a 9 to 10 win season. I think there's enough talent around him. And this kind of gets to a funny part. So I was watching the quarterback show following a couple of quarterbacks in the NFL on Netflix, and there was an episode with Joe Burrow talking to Jamar Chase, and he's like, oh, you can't be upset with the targets that you're going to get this season. Obviously, because they were also college teammates, so they have like this undeniable connection. You can kind of just like, Chase is down there somewhere. I'm just going to go down there and throw it to him. But how scrimmages have gone, I don't think Joey Aguilar is going to have a problem connecting with any of his receivers.
I connected with Chris when he came back. Mike got one. Amari got one. I think I connected with Raw too. A little bit of everybody, honestly.
And when the whole room is benefiting, it's just as well. And we'll have much more coming up on the wide receiver room on Monday, so turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on that conversation. And that also is partly why I'm not ready to put a ceiling yet on Joey Aguilar, because by the sounds of it, I don't know why this couldn't resemble a 2022 season, should how scrimmages look 80% translates how it'll look in game time scenarios. And if that happens, if Joey is as successful as it sounds, and he really, truly did run away in the competition to earn this quarterback job, I don't see why Tennessee couldn't look like 2022. And I think that's why this could end up being one of the best decisions Josh Heupel has made during his time at Tennessee. Like, Heupel was creative and aggressive in a search for a quarterback. What followed from that was the countless hours he's invested in Joey to tap into that upside. And what we said in the beginning is he refused to be held captive by the current landscape of college football. So Tennessee has already won in so many ways, and we've talked about that at length on this show. But then it could turn into something completely different altogether if they end up hitting that 10-win mark with a guy who started his career not playing football after high school, started in JUCO, competed at App State, and competed and won the job at Tennessee. This could end up having the greatest return on your investment Josh Heupel could have imagined, and it's all because they decided to be aggressive and not just stay with the status quo. Don't stay within a standard that was unfavorable to them. And I know this is a positive angle to the upside. And of course, there's also a downside. And I'm not saying that at the end of the season, Joey's going to be 80 for 80 and he's going to throw for 10,000 yards and Tennessee's going to put up 60 points in every single game that they play. But if he can minimize the interceptions to single digits, if he can complete, 60% of his passes, if he can get Tennessee to 25 or more points in SEC play, Tennessee has already won. Meet or exceed expectations and results from last year, Tennessee will win even more. And that's why I think that Tennessee is getting the greatest return on Joey Aguilar. He wants to be here. He wants to be a Tennessee Volunteer. He comes from a great family. As we have detailed, he has a tremendous appreciation for his journey and how it got him here. He is a culture builder. He has phenomenal upside from Josh Heupel's perspective, if all of that can remain true and he can maintain a competition, in that quarterback room and go and win it every single day, he really will help Tennessee be in the best position on Saturdays. Will there be mental lapses? Yes. Will there be untimely picks? Yes. Will he get sacked when he should have thrown it away? Maybe. All of those things would happen in a normal season anyway, but understanding the circumstances, it still bodes well for a really entertaining season with, again, a ton of upside. And Tennessee is turning into a program that can tap into the upside of players and its own potential. We'll have so much more coming up next week, so make sure you stay tuned. And please subscribe and turn on your notifications. I'll talk to you then.